DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from DocTalk here. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to have a fun show, a great show. We're going to talk about new diagnostic tools to detect pregnancy in cows. It's from IDEXX. My guest, Dr. Jim Rhoades, who's the Senior Marketing Manager at IDEXX. And we'll talk about how you can incorporate that into your herd, how you can work with your veterinarian. Lots of great information. Thanks for joining us.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed captioning brought to you by Colostrix Colostrum Supplement and Replacer. Proven to provide essential immunity and help prevent scours from E. coli. Trust your newborn calf health to Colostrix from AgriLabs.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Jim Rhoades. And we're going to talk today about something that's been around for years, but really hasn't been talked about a lot, and that is pregnancy testing with blood.
Blood,
with
serum,
cattle.
milk.
So, yeah, with cattle. And so Dr. Rhoades is a Senior Marketing Manager here for IDEXX Animal Health. And what we're going to talk about today is some of the things that they're doing with technology and pregnancy testing that maybe you're not aware of. So let's just start out, Dr. Rhoades, by talking about what is it that y'all are doing?
The test detects, whether it's in blood, serum, or milk, what is called the pregnancy-associated glycoprotein, or we love three-letter acronyms, so we call it a PAG. There are 22 different PAGs, and they're only produced in the placenta in the bovine.
Okay.
So when you start looking for a pregnancy-specific marker that can be detected in the maternal blood, it's nice to have something that is derived solely from the placenta, which is derived from the fetus or the calf. So if you don't have a pregnancy, this doesn't exist. So it makes diagnosing pregnancy extremely accurate when you're looking for something that only is produced from the fetal tissue.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about the test. So when you go out, you take a blood sample, milk sample.
Yep.
So there could be a time when a calf's on a cow, and you could go out and just take a milk sample from that cow if she's coming through the chute.
You could, but Dan, I'm not as tough as you are, and I'm not real likely to go out and milk beef cows. Yeah, some people might be able to get away with that, but on my cows, I'm not going to go out and milk them.
Right.
Now, in the dairy situation, it's an extremely convenient sample.
Right.
And it is becoming more common for the dairies to submit with their monthly DHI samples or their dairy herd improvement samples to do rechecks. And the reason rechecks, and not just a one test and that's it, because we know from research in the past that about 25% of pregnancies do not last to calving. And that's a normal phenomenon. It's called early embryonic death.
Yep.
And so having the ability, especially in the dairy situation, to have multiple convenient checkups to make sure that cow is maintaining that pregnancy is really convenient.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, when I bring them in, to bring them in off grass, I can take a blood sample. I can
You can do it right there on the farm, or you can send it to the laboratory, and in most laboratories, they get you the answer back the next day.
Gotcha. All right, folks, well, we're off and rolling. We're talking about pregnancy testing and some of the alternative methods that you can do to assure that your cows are pregnant on the farm by yourself, and more with Dr. Jim Rhoades from IDEXX Laboratories after these messages. Hey folks, welcome to our Cattle First Minute, sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim Vet Medica. And today we're going to talk about clostridial vaccines. And one of the things about clostridial vaccines is many times it's called, in layman's term, blackleg or something of that nature. But when you hear someone say, I'm going to give a 7-way blackleg, that is the vaccination for clostridials. Now, all of us that are watching this show are also vaccinated for a clostridial that's very common in our environment, called Clostridial tetani, and that is tetanus. So tetanus is a clostridial vaccine that humans and cattle alike receive. Make sure that we vaccinate our calves that are going to be housed on pastures that are high with the blackleg disease with a 7-way clostridial bactrin. We also want to make sure that we utilize that bactrin when they're going into a grow yard and again at the weaning process. When we want to use Clostridial tetani or tetanus vaccines is if you're going to use the technique of banding to castrate bull calves. Always use the tetanus toxoid. Clostridial vaccines have been around forever. They're one of the most effective vaccines that we have in the world, and they work really well.
It must be an inherited trait because I have never wanted to do anything other than be in the cattle business. And it's interesting as I have grandchildren now, little bitty ones. All they want to do is go to the barn, swing a rope, and be a cowboy. It's something. It's a lifestyle that we have, the way we make a living, obviously. But it's really more than that. It gives us the opportunity as a family to be able to work together and enjoy each other's company and make a living at the same time. We've been using Triangle for years, and the reason we do it's been safe and effective, and we're going to continue to do that. We'll put the cows in the chute twice a year, spring and fall. 100% of our cattle get vaccinated with Triangle.
If my calves start healthy and stay healthy, I've got a good shot at making money. That is why I trust Clostrix. It gives my calves the protection they need until their own immune systems kick in.
Calf raisers trust Colostrix colostrum supplements. Colostrix is USDA licensed and proven effective. When your money is on the line, trust Colostrix.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with my friend and colleague, Dr. Jim Rhoades, who's a veterinarian with IDEXX. And IDEXX does a lot of different testing regardless of whatever animal you want to work with in veterinary medicine. And we use them for a lot of different things. Great company. One of the things that we're talking about today is the use of their diagnostic capabilities or testing to determine pregnancy in cows. And we talked about, what we're doing or what kind of samples. Now talk to me about when we should be doing or when we can be doing it.
The pregnancy-associated glycoprotein, or PAG, is actually starting to be produced by the placenta at about day 24, 25. It's a little variable cow to cow, but by the time you get to 28 days after breeding, all cows, if they're pregnant, will be producing the PAGs. So as early as 28 days, whether it's post-AI or post, or when you pull the bull out and you know, okay, 28 days later, we can pull a sample, whichever sample you want to use, run it, and find out if that animal's pregnant.
So you could do it at 28 days. You could start to narrow down which cycle,
That's correct.
first cycle, second cycle, third cycle. You can't really determine it based on what you get as results from the test, but you can get it based on when you test.
That's right. So if you have a program that involves artificial insemination and then turning out a cleanup bull, if you go, due to the fact that the PAG is only produced at from about 25 days forward, you can come in 28 days or 30 days after AI, but if you didn't turn the bull in until about 10 to 15 days after that AI event, you can tell which animals were bred to the AI and which animals were bred to the cleanup bull. And that's some work that we're currently doing with Dr. George Perry at South Dakota State University, and it's looking pretty good.
That's awesome. And I think that whenever we get this kind of technology, I think that when we're talking about making sure that animals are pregnant, we're doing this, because we don't want to carry those open cows over the winter.
That's right.
The economics of the different things. And so understanding this, it's not to replace the veterinarian.
No, not at all.
This is
another tool.
Yep. And that's when we look at some of the technology on being able to identify sick cattle in the pen. We have people that come out and say, well, you're just trying to replace the pen rider. No, we're trying to help the pen rider do a better job.
Absolutely. And I would like to see veterinarians, at me as a producer, I would like to have more help figuring out why that cow remains open rather than just identifying the pregnant one.
Yep.
So if I only have the veterinarian for an hour or an hour and a half on my farm, I would like to see them trying to help me in my management to figure out why I have 15% open cows.
Yep.
Not spend their time deciding who's open and who's pregnant.
Yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time going into the doctor to find out who's pregnant at our house. I have four daughters, but and the daughters weren't the ones we were testing. I just want to be clarifying. But anyway, we're going to take a break after that. More with Dr. Jim Rhoades from IDEXX after these messages.
Your investment in the Beef Checkoff is opening new doors for beef. Today and tomorrow, our commitment to long-term planning helps ensure your profitability from one generation to the next.
Hello, this is Caleb Plyler & Son Charolais. This is my son Hook and my wife Brianna. And we operate a purebred Charolais operation in Hope, Arkansas. In the business that we're in, the beef checkoff dollars are very important to us. A lot of that money is to educate people, just like kids that's in Huck's class, the importance of eating beef. It's a high protein product that it's a very important part of our diet. Sometimes we get this bad rap as beef is not what we really need to be doing from a dietary standpoint. But being able to get to the kids and let them know that beef, it is what needs to be for dinner. One of the bigger things with our family is getting to go out and show off some of our cattle. Huck, he gets to show a lot of heifers.
A lot of what we do trying to get him into showing is the fact that it's teaching him discipline, respect for the animals, and it's going to continue to give him lifelong skills throughout his life.
But I think it's very important that the next generation understands how important the beef industry is. Just like Huck here, we plan on him one day operating this farm, and if we can do that, we're doing what we need to, because this country is founded upon people that have family traditions and do a really good job of keeping those traditions going. Huck, one day, what kind of cows do you want to grow up to have, you think?
Charolais.
Charolais, all right. If the beef checkoff dollars are going to really good causes and really promoting beef, then the consumers are going to want to buy more beef, and that leads for us making more money in the end and and it really helps the quality of people's cow herds because we're able to enhance our genetics even more.
You spent countless hours building a strong operation. But when it comes to trichomoniasis, the odds are stacked against you. It takes just one infected bull to take down the whole herd. Damage could include open cows, lost pregnancies, and lost profits. The good news is with TrichGuard, a herd doesn't have to feel like a house of cards.
When you're in the cattle business, no matter how much it's a business, it still starts with cattle. It's this basic notion that sits at the core of how we approach things at Boehringer Ingelheim. We understand when you put the cattle first, it just naturally leads to doing the right things. If you want to do well in this business, you start by doing right. Take care of the cattle, and they'll take care of you.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Jim Rhoades. Dr. Rhoades is a veterinarian and he is the Senior Marketing Manager for IDEXX, and we're talking about using technology for pregnancy testing. And so let's talk a little bit about what the test entails.
The test, the original test in 2011 was a laboratory-based assay that is in a plastic plate format. It has 96 wells on it, and it's done in an automatic plate washer. It's read by a computer, very laboratory equipment heavy. The second test was the milk-based test, which is the same way. It's in the laboratory. More recently, we brought out what the name of it is Rapid Visual Pregnancy Test.
Okay.
And it is still in a 96 well plate format, but it has 4 solutions and it takes approximately 30 minutes to do. You can do this on the farm.
All right.
Even you can do it, Dan.
Well, I was just going to say, now walk me through kind of step by step what a person's going to do.
So you would put the sample in, and you can use whole blood.
Yep.
So the producer takes a sample, puts it in, allows it to incubate, washes the plate.
Okay.
You put the second substrate in, which starts creating the reaction to bind to the PAG. You wash that out. You do that 3 times with about a 7-minute incubation time in between each run, and then you place it over a white piece of paper, and it's simple to read. If it's clear, it's negative. If it's blue, it's positive.
Cool.
And it's literally that easy.
And so do all the solutions come in the kit if I buy them that way?
Yes, the plate comes in, all the solutions are there, there's a wash bottle that comes with it. So really the only thing that you need is a white piece of paper.
And do you see some of the veterinary clinics providing this service for their clients?
Yes.
and that seems like a natural fit to me, is that in the future, just like we've done on small animal, using some of your technology to set up screenings and diagnostics within clinics.
Yes, and like we said in the previous segment, this is not meant to replace the veterinarian, but it's another tool that the veterinarian has. If you have a cow that you question, well, I thought she was pregnant, but now I'm not sure. And a lot of veterinarians now have haul-in facilities. You can bring that cow to the veterinary clinic. They take a little sample of blood. They go in and run the test. And before you get the cow loaded back up and get your bill paid, and by the way, price is about the same as what you're used to paying for a pregnancy test. It's really no different.
Right.
Before you can get the cow loaded back up and ready to go home, you've got an answer. And it doesn't always have to have the veterinarian there. A lot of technicians draw blood.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think about the sale barns and how many of those cull cows that we bought that when we preg them at the feed yard, and they were called open at the sale barn, and they were pregnant. So those are some things that I see as you know, at the auction markets too, of being able to have a definitive test.
And the accuracy of this test, the sensitivity and specificity are right on par with ultrasound.
Yep.
So, and that's usually considered more accurate than just regular palpation.
Not when I'm doing it. But anyway, we're going to take a break.
Not everybody's as good as you are.
Well,
not
keep
everybody.
practicing. Now, more with Dr. Jim Rhoades from IDEXX right after these messages.
If my calves start healthy and stay healthy, I've got a good shot at making money. That is why I trust Clostrix. It gives my calves the protection they need until their own immune systems kick in.
Calf raisers trust Colostrix colostrum supplements. Colostrix is USDA licensed and proven effective. When your money is on the line, trust Colostrix.
Some call it a come from behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
All right, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here from Kansas State University, and my guest today is a veterinarian named Dr. Jim Rhoades, who's the Senior Marketing Manager at IDEXX, who has brought forward some great technology over the years and diagnostic capabilities for many different things in small animals, equine, food animals. And today we're talking about something that a lot of people ask me questions about, and that is the doing the pregnancy test for their cows on the farm. And so talk to us a little about where you're going in the future.
The evolution of the pregnancy test from being a very laboratory based to being something that a producer can do on farm has been our goal from the very onset.
Yep.
Having the ability to make decisions on open cows literally at the chute is one of the wonderful things about palpation and ultrasound from the veterinarian. Sometimes that veterinarian's not available, and what we're working on now is getting that time from taking the sample to knowing the answer down from what we have now in the rapid visual at about 30 minutes, which really is not cow side. It's take the sample, go in and run it, and then come back out and make the decision. That's great, but we can always improve. And so what we're working on now is a new platform that will enable the producer to take a blood sample and in somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes be able to make the decision. And I don't have timelines yet to share with you, but soon, and it's possible. That's what I'll tell you.
Well, I get back to the thing of speed doesn't always mean accurate.
That's correct.
And I mean, most practitioners are outstanding. I'm not saying that people don't do a good job of palpating, but we have lay palpators out there. We have people that you know, and so if I can do it and improve my accuracy, I'm okay with the 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
You know, because I can go back and find that cow. I can go back and
you can sort them, and something that I feel is really needed in our industry is the ability to do this on the weekend, because that's when I have the most labor. And the veterinarian doesn't always want to work on Sunday.
Yep.
So having another option for the producer, and if that cow doesn't produce a calf, really, she's a pet. And according to Nebraska Cattleman's magazine, it costs about $600 a year to keep a pet cow. So I would like to have the producers have another tool in their toolbox to not feed that open cow through the winter.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you so much for
Dan.
being on the show. Thanks for bringing forward more great technology from IDEXX.
That's great.
Folks,
Great to be here.
Great. Dr. Jim Rhoades from IDEXX, thanks for watching DocTalk. Remember, always work with your local practitioner. And if you want to know more about what we do on the show, you can find us at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Jim Rhoades. Thanks for watching DocTalk today, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Colostrix Colostrum Supplement and Replacer. Proven to provide essential immunity and help prevent scours from E. coli. Trust your newborn calf health to Colostrix from AgriLabs.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to DocTalkTV.com.
DocTalk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.